You know what I feel is a super loaded question you can ask someone else pertaining to yourself or myself. That is the question of, do you think I am capable of fill in the blank? It could be, do you think I'm capable of running a marathon? Do you think I'm capable of finishing school or going after this career or being in this profession? And, I have asked people this question majority of my life. And I have asked it more recently, but I've kind of caught myself, and it made me think of, why is it that I ask that question of other people? And, it was a lot of reasons, but mostly because I hadn't yet built that skill of confidence in myself and that skill of self-worth. Because those are definitely skills. You're not just automatically born that way, or maybe you are, and maybe it's life that takes those things away from you. Who knows? But anyway, for me, it was something that I really had to work to build in myself. And more recently, I asked my husband this question when I was talking to him about my training for this endurance competition coming up. And I asked him if he thought that I was capable of finishing it in this certain time that I have kind of as like an ultimate goal for myself, which I'm not going to share yet what that time is, because that doesn't really matter. But anyway, I'm glad, because when I asked him that question, he turned it around on me and he said, well, do you think you're capable of finishing in that time? And he kind of went through and he's like, I don't see you. You tell me what you do, but I don't see you and I don't know. Like, you're the only person who's going to know that. And that like really got the wheels turning in my head to kind of think of this broad, why do we ask people this, And so it's such a loaded question, because you're basically asking someone else to perceive what's within you, and how are they going to know that? And you can take some deep dives into, I guess, the psychology behind their answer or whatever, but at the end of the day, that stuff doesn't really matter. It instead, what I like to think of is one of my favorite quotes by Jane Austen, which is, we have all a better guide in ourselves if we would just attend to it. Hopefully that's like the exact quote, but something along those lines. Um, and, I used to look to everyone to define who I was. And this kind of went into a larger journey of me, like, seeking what is my identity, and who, this broad question of, who am I? Who am I if I can't define myself by my career, by my relationships? And if you haven't thought of those things, I would highly encourage you to, because, you know, it seems scary at first to face that person in the mirror, but the more that you start to sit with yourself and begin to untangle that web, the more that you discover the vibrance that you bring to this planet, that we each bring to this planet. Um, and, I've been lucky in more recent times, because prior I would ask that question and it wasn't always positive. I wasn't getting a, yeah, you're capable. I was either met with like a flat out no, or I was met with kind of ambivalence, that it was like I internalized that ambivalence as meaning like, wow, okay, so if this person that I regard so highly, or think like knows me so well, doesn't think that I'm capable of doing this, then who do I think I am to think that I could? Um, but I've drawn so much inspiration from all of these great people, and one of them is Tim Grover. I think I may have mentioned reading his book Winning, but I'm obsessed. Um, and I recently watched a podcast with him, and he said, set unrealistic expectations and expect to achieve them. But there's kind of a behind the scenes to that statement. So if you're going to set unrealistic expectations, then that means that your work that you put in, or my work that I put in, has to be astronomically higher so that I'm giving 100% almost every single day. You know, my alarm clock goes off at 3:50 a.m. every single day. And I'm one of those snooze people, so I like hit the snooze twice. Whatever, come at me for that, but I still get up. Um, and it's just that is right now. I mean, I've kind of become addicted to working out really early because it's quiet. The rest of the world is pretty much sleeping, it feels like. And it's just like right now at this point in my life, that's the only time that I can have an allotted amount of unbothered time to get in what I need to before my day starts. Um, and, by me doing that, it's not that I wake up every day ready to go. I definitely have the moments, I would say, honestly, almost on a daily basis, where I wake up and I'm like, do I really want to do this today? Do I really want to, get up at the crack of dawn? It's dark outside, and it's still dark when I leave, like, the gym to come back home. Should I just sleep? And, that's an example of this idea, this like, oh, it was so profound. I can't remember who I saw that said this, but it's like, you don't have to listen to every thought that comes into your head. And that was like, whoa, I don't really. Um, and so it's like, that's an example. I don't have to listen to that thought. I can just be like, whatever, that's just my sleepy self talking. I can just get up and prove to myself that I can get up and do it, number one. And also, by me doing that, I'm making an investment into my bank of confidence, into my bank of self-worth. And that's like, for me at least, it was so huge when I had that my mindset shift of, okay, if I look at these things as skills that I'm building, and that they're not like, I don't have to beat myself up over not being confident, because what is that going to do? That's going to destroy my confidence even more. Instead, what if I just work on small steps to becoming a confident person? What would that look like? And so I realized that by me making those promises to myself, I became someone where I could trust my word. And, that was something that I would get really frustrated with people about, is when people don't take their word, or when they don't keep their word. Um, and it's like, how could I expect them to keep their word if I'm not even keeping mine to myself? And it's just those small little things that made me realize, like, wow, I really am capable of a lot. And there's that saying of, where there's a will, there's a way, and I firmly believe that. So I just want to speak over you that you are capable. You don't have to tune into the opinions of other people. You get to listen to yourself. You get to do that inner journey, that inner exploration, and you get to just explore, be an explorer, find that childlike observation, and just go out there, grab your dreams, strap them on your back, climb up that mountain, and you just start carrying them, because the journey to 1,000 miles begins with your first step.